Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're going to be talking about Arturia's latest offering, the Arturia AstroLab Avante Stage Keyboard. Now full disclosure, I don't have the keyboard yet, but this is not a review about the keyboard, it's about why I am excited about this, and we're going to be talking about it and looking at it from a perspective of a studio musician as well as a live musician. For those of you who are new here, by the way, I'm Banem, and I'm a musician. I just so happen to know just enough music to be able to play live and in the studio. And for those of you purists out there, I don't stick to one particular genre of music. I like everything, but I do have rock influences that I tend to combine with my favorite EDM influences, and then I kind of bundle all of that up with a little bit of Indian sounds. So yeah, that's about me. But this is not about me. It's about the Arturia AstroLab. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Your fortune is Now, Arturia is known and it's super famous for all of their software emulation of classic analog synths, even their own digital modern synths. The AstroLab kind of builds on that legacy. In the past, Arturia has developed their own MIDI keyboards, but like I said, they're MIDI keyboards. They do not have their own sound engine, so you would still have to hook up a laptop, play whatever sound that you want, whether that would be Arturia's massive collections or just any favorite software that you had, but not anymore. The AstroLab kind of changes that. It has its own kind of sound engine. You do not need to connect your laptop anymore while on the road. Just pick up one piece of gear, walk on stage, do your thing, you're good to go. So no more fear of like your laptop crashing on stage like it does 100 times a show, or your cable being pulled out because the vocalist feels that you're not getting enough attention on stage and now you need that attention. We've all been there. The AstroLab this time around has its own set of sounds, but it's not what you think it is. It still does not have its own hardware sound engine, no hardware oscillators or anything of that sort. It still is software based. At its core, it runs on Linux, which is how it's able to, run all of the V collection and all of their sounds. However, it still does have an onboard vocoder and an onboard sound card of its own, so you can still connect a mic, get those Daft punky vocals in your live sets, and then have a direct out from the keyboard itself, so you don't need to have an additional sound card to kind of have your sounds at the FOH and just do your thing basically. All that aside, I mean, look at how beautiful this thing looks. Oh my god, she's hot. Nice. How could I forget how well Arturia has integrated the Arturia dial into the LCD? I already own a Mark II, and I pretty much use the Arturia dial a lot, especially when I'm playing live or just for sound selection in the studio. It's super convenient in terms of your workflow, and having that integrated onto your screen, I mean, for a live keyboard, super good. Like when I'm using the Mark II live, the screen is pretty much useless. You can't see shit on it while playing live. But having this on the screen, super helpful, super good in terms of the workflow. Oh god, I'm in love. It still has the classic knob that you can use for macro control, similar to the macro control you see on the AstroLab software, or even the knobs that you see on your MIDI keyboards like the Mark II. However, it's missing the faders that we so love from the MIDI keyboards. I mean, those were pretty helpful. I would have loved to see those on this keyboard. It still does retain, however, its quick launch instrument buttons, which is super useful, not just when you're using the AstroLab software, but also when you're using just Ableton to trigger sounds. If you've programmed it that way, it's super useful when you're playing it live. Now, while you can use the AstroLab in a studio as a MIDI keyboard, what it specifically is built for is to be used on the stage. But where it comes short is in the quick editing of sounds, or having just on the fly sound design. That's where this particular keyboard falls short. For that, you still have to have AstroLab or any of your V collection softwares running on a laptop, and do the edits on the laptop and then kind of import it onto the keyboard. Now, if you're familiar with AstroLab or any of Arturia's software synths, you know that they have really beautiful UI, which you can use to tweak pretty much anything and everything. And if you know what you're doing, you can have amazing results. So when you come up with these sounds, you have to do it on the laptop and then hook it up via the USB-C at the back of the keyboard and then kind of bring it onto the keyboard, which is a bit of an additional step, but it's not too much of an hassle. Although Arturia has also given you multiple other options like the USB connection at the back. So if you still don't want to connect your laptop to your keyboard or your PC to your keyboard, you can still just put your sounds on a USB stick and then just stick it up at the back of the keyboard. Also, in the unlikely event that you lose your sounds on the keyboard, you can always have a backup on your USB stick and then just put it at the back on the road and you should be good to go. Now, another thing that's kind of new to me, and I don't think a lot of keyboards offer in this segment, is a companion mobile app. I'm really excited and looking forward to see how well it's integrated. It ties into this whole thing of not having to use your PC or laptop. So the keyboard has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built into it, so you can use that to connect your phone. You don't have to have a cable or anything. And the phone app can basically be used to browse presets or to make playlists and organize your sounds for when you're playing live. So in a live situation, that's super useful. Like, I don't have to always look at probably the small screen or I have to look at my laptop screen or whatever. I can just have my phone app, and in the event that I need to look at what sound I need, or I need to quickly recall a sound that we are improvising on the fly, I can still have a touch screen over there while also having the Arturia dial to kind of pick up sounds. Additionally, also, like I mentioned, we have the quick call instrument button. So a lot of options that Arturia has baked into this particular keyboard. Now, I personally haven't been able to get my hands on the AstroLab yet, and I haven't been able to personally play it. But based on the reviews that people are talking about online, everybody seems to love this keyboard so far in terms of the sound. I had a concern if the sounds from the Analog Lab, are they going to be the same, or there's going to be difference in sound quality. But people are saying that it's exactly the same. There's no difference in the sonic feature of the AstroLab. So in my opinion, I think it's a strong contender for keyboards, or stage keyboards in particular, in this price segment. How do they compare though with keyboards like the Yamaha Mod X or a Nord keyboard for that matter? I feel the AstroLab is not trying to contend or compete with these synthesizers, because these synthesizers are in the world of their own. They are specifically hardware synths, and you can do a lot more on that. The AstroLab is more of getting the studio with you on the road. It's more about taking the sounds that you love or the sounds that you've edited in the studio and getting that with you on the road and being able to play that live without too much of an hassle. In my opinion, it's a fantastic option for a keyboardist who likes the sound design versatility that a DAW gives you, or a software in the DAW gives you, and being able to have that seamlessly integrated into your live set without having to have your laptop with you on stage. That's a good bonus in my opinion. So if you're on the hunt for a keyboard that lets you do all of these things and have all of these features and not still having to have your laptop or your PC with you on stage, I think the AstroLab is something that's worth checking out. That's it from the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way till here. If you've watched it till the end, you're amazing. And let me know in the comments what do you think about the AstroLab, and if you've been able to play with it, or if there are some features that you would have liked baked onto the keyboard. Hit that down in the comments. As always, keep raving. I'll see you around.